It's about that time.
Pre-record on my count. 7, 6, 5, 4. Here we go, Roger.
On Insights, two eyes in the middle. INSiiGHTS, where we always talk the talk.
Mother's Day special from Insights. Hey, happy Mother's Day. We hope everybody had a great time. We have a special coming to you. Very special show today. But first, I want to introduce Rick. No trick. Rick. No trick. Rick. No trick. Rick Brown from downtown, where he would shoot those jumpers all over town. Welcome.
Clank, clank,
Famous
clank.
Rick Brown.
Clank, clank, clank. That's why I averaged 7 assists because I was usually only averaging 3.5 points a game. It just what's up, coach? What's happening, my brother?
You the man with the plan in both hands. He tells the land because that's Rick. You always
Oh my goodness.
Plan. That's him. That's Rick.
You on fire.
Fire.
Oh my goodness.
Fire.
Wow. I'm
If you
loving
didn't know,
this.
You'll find out. Man, I had a great weekend. I ain't talking about a good weekend. Man, I had an absolute great weekend. Not all because it was Mother's Day, even though that was part of it. Man, I went to my 50-year classroom, my high school class reunion. 50 years. And that's what you see up there in the corner, Merritt Island High School. After I left Merritt Island and went back to class reunion, Rick, man, they showed me so much love. Rick, I can't begin to tell you. It was probably 160 of us who came back.
Wow.
I hadn't been back to class reunion in over 30 years. And when I walked in the door, they were like, I hadn't even got in. I walked in the lobby and they were yelling, talking about, Mickey, Mickey, Mickey. They were running over to me, hugging me. Man, they were showing me so much love. They have followed my career at FAMU. Some of them had bought the book Freshman. They were talking about when am I going to do the sequel? We know about Insights. We've been following you on Facebook. We keep up with you. Wow. I had people saying, at least we had one person out of our class that's famous. Mickey Clayton is famous. Now, I remember we had Clint Hurdle, the baseball coach from Merritt Island. We had Will Perdue, went to the NBA from Merritt Island, Waldo Williams, Leon Bright, and they carrying on about me.
Wow.
Man, they showed me so much love. Rick, man. Rick. Rick. It was special to me, Rick. Wow. It was special to me. I mean, to notice that all these years later, so many of them still kept up with me, showed me so much love, so much support, following insights, meeting with me, talking about sons and grandsons and granddaughters that they're gonna put me in touch with about doing some sponsorship things with Insights, and just all excited about us going to Roku. Some of them had heard it before I didn't even say anything, and they just then they cornered my wife talking about, yeah, I met all your ex high school girlfriends. I said, now you ain't be my ex high school girlfriends. I ain't know nothing about that, but man, it was Rick. I left there. I left there so juiced and charged, um, just to get that kind of support and love. There hadn't been many times in my career that I've received something like that. One other time when we played Duke, and I was voted Chevrolet Player of the Game, and Dr. Humphreys acknowledged me at the faculty breakfast and had me come up in front of the faculty and talk about the $1,000 scholarship in my name that went to the General Scholarship Fund. And the entire FAMU faculty and staff stood up for me and clapped for me.
Wow.
That was a very, very special moment in my life. And going back to 50-year class reunion, they kind of neck and neck. And in fact, that might be right there with what Dr. Humphrey did. You get so much negative, that you don't, you get to the point you don't let that negative really get to you, but it was special to get it, and I really, really appreciate it. That's why you see him up there represented in the corner, Merritt Island. You see the Rattlers, and you see Kappa. They gave me a lot of love at that event, man. So shout out to the Mustangs. I'm sorry I was only there for Saturday night. 50-year class reunion was supposed to have been last year in 2021, but it got canceled due to COVID. And then the class of 22, the class of 72, they're having their 50-year reunion, and all of those are the students I went to school with too, and they're asking me if I'm gonna come back, because they want to see me. So they mad you didn't come Friday, and they were looking for you, and you didn't come. So, man, it was special, Rick. It was special, and I
Awesome.
I had to share. I just had to share that. When people support you and show you love like that, it helps, Rick. It helps.
That's good, Coach. And to see people who you haven't seen maybe in 50 years, some of them back then that you probably didn't even mess with, but it's funny how the stuff that we used to, that was very important to us in high school, 50 years later, it doesn't matter anymore. And how being together, the camaraderie, and the love shown. I mean, of course, I'm biased and I couldn't think of anyone more deserving, but still, to see it happening, that's just pretty awesome, man. So, hats off to you. Way to go, Merritt Island. I'll give you props, Mi. Much props to the Mustangs.
Oh,
Much props. That's
well,
all right,
we
Coach.
really do appreciate that from the Mustangs. You know how they show a lot of love, and if you looked at it, there was two faces of dark complexion.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that it was kind of bright up in there.
And that's none of my classmates of color were there,
Hmm.
but it's okay. But that's just kind of how they were. They a lot of time they didn't really see color. And at the time I went to Merritt Island, it was right when it was integration.
Right, right.
And man, back in the days, you had fights. You didn't shoot people, you didn't stab people, you had fights, and there were a lot of racial tension going on and stuff going on. So it was really a rough time, and a lot of them, that were there. They asked me about my dad because he was a history teacher and basketball coach, and one guy in particular was talking about my dad, and I let him know that he had passed. And he just stopped mid-sentence. He said, Coach, I don't know what to say after that. And I'm like, there's really nothing to say. I mean, unless you were able to do something to keep him from dying. But other than that, I understand.
And if that's the case, you made it. Keep that to yourself.
Right. And as we know, I want everybody to know that Arthur Richard Brown, Rick the Reporter's dad, passed last Friday, May 6th. Condolences to my brother Rick. We've kept him in our prayers. You know, it's a lot of things you go through in life that people tell you they understand, but they don't really understand unless they've experienced. If somebody loses a child, I can only empathize. I can't tell them that I know how that is because I've never done that. But I've lost my mom and I've lost my dad. And this is not about me, but it's about my brother Rick. And I need y'all to show him some love, keep him in your prayers. I've been there. I know what it's like, my brother. And if there's anything that we can do, I appreciate you. And if there's anything we can do, let us know.
I appreciate that, Coach, and Insights family. Thank you. The thing is, if you would have met my pops, you would have met a kindred spirit, because like you, he was very high strung, and he was definitely straight no chaser. If you funked up, he'll tell you funked up. If you did good, he'll tap you on the back and say, okay, let's keep going. I expected it, but let's keep going. Not perfect. I mean, who is human? But as he matured and got older, the respect that he gained for life and passed it on. History major at Norfolk State, and carried that on. And while I'm going to miss him, I am so blessed to have had him for 53 plus years. And hey, as he would say, all right, enough of that. Let's get on with the show. Let's go, all right? and that's my pops, because he wasn't into the self gratification and all of that. He just wanted everybody else to be happy, and everybody else to succeed and do well. And so he said, enough about me. Let's just move on. That would be him. I hear him now looking at me and just shaking his head. And I'm like, nah, pops, not yet. Not yet. So it's all good. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sports Diva. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Sports Diva with Rick, thoughts and prayers to you and your family. And on that end, we have a Mother's Day special. Yes. My mom's, and it was actually the thought of our executive producer, Sharon B. And I told her that since this is your idea, you need to do the show. And she almost fainted.
Ah!
And she's very conveniently keeps texting me that she doesn't have the link, but she has the link to come on, but she's trying not to come on. But it's actually her show, her first show that she put together. And we wanted to recognize the moms and the student athletes that they raised. So we're very excited about that show. And it's a different kind of show. And acknowledging the support that we receive from these mothers, but even more than that, the support that they give to their children and what they've done and the special relationships that they have with, especially with themselves.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hi, I do apologize for our tardiness.
No, it's all on me, because I'm always the one behind the scenes, and Coach Clayton has got me in front of the scenes today.
Okay.
It's all on me.
Okay.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How is everyone doing?
Doing
good.
well.
That's great. First of all, I was telling your son, I just remember him as the shy kid at Florida High, and he's grown up so well. You did a great job with him.
Thank
He
you.
always speaks when he sees you, well mannered.
Thank you.
What age did you realize that Jalen was going to be a great athlete and great basketball player?
He started very young, playing at the rec center in Quincy. He needed to be 5, but he was 4. And he was able to, the rec department, they told him, they said, well, if he can make a shot, he can play on the team. So at 4, he hit a 3-pointer.
Okay.
They grabbed the ball and they said he can play. But when I really knew his talents, he was at Crossroad Middle School, 8th grade, and they recruited him to start playing on the varsity team.
Wow.
He would be the go-to guy, even with the older players. I think that year he played on the B team, he played on JV, and he played on varsity. So around about 8th grade, you could see the special talents in him.
Okay. So Jalen, I heard that your mother was a very, very good basketball player, and I'm assuming that you got your talents from her.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, because Coach Clayton said, she throw an elbow, do whatever she had to do. She get a little mean with it, but she could play. Did you play any other sports?
Growing up, I kind of played like flag football and t-ball, but like as I got to like middle school, like I just like realized that like none of those sports were for me, so I just stuck with basketball.
Okay.
I feel like she just did like all the little things that like people don't see, like just like supporting me, always like having like conversations, like encouraging me, like every morning and night, just like telling me I can do it. Like growing up, she always like took me to camps, like even if they were like out of the state, she just took me everywhere. Took me to all my AAU games and tournaments. She did like all the small stuff that like people really don't realize, like when it comes down to it.
Mom, what has been your biggest obstacle with making sure Jalen was successful?
Just the times that he would play and it was too far away for me to go there and support him in person. I'm an educator. I always make sure that he did his academics. He's an A student. So I think that because he couldn't play if the grades weren't right. So they've always been right.
Good.
But I think just not being able to get to some of his later tournaments and things like that. But I always encourage him. I tell him my hashtag for him is chosen. I realize that, a lot of people can play, but with
Rick,
Yo, 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 yo.
I think your my executive producer sabotaged this so that her stuff won't be on.
You know that 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 behind the scenes executive producer.
I think
I,
she works very hard to stay behind the scenes, and once her show comes on, then
mm,
we
mm,
start buffering, going well until that point.
mm, 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 mm,
You
mm,
know
mm.
that again, executive producer.
You know she did. You know she has a little button back there.
Hey, Rick, exactly right, exactly right. Ah, let me talk about something I wasn't really gonna touch on much, but let me ask you about this, Rick. Well, let me make a comment. All the craziness is going on at our university and the athletic department and all that stuff. What I'm going to say is that right now we're going through transition, and all of this craziness that's going on and back and forth. I've kind of been on both sides. I've been on the side where people say you did stuff that I know I didn't do. People said stuff that I know wasn't true. But because it was my university, it's like being at church. If your family's one of the founding members of a church, if you don't get along with the minister, it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't get along with your church and you don't have anything to do with your church. Florida A&M University is my home. It's educated me, my wife, 2 children with degrees, nephews with degrees, father with degree, mother who went their grandmother. So it goes back deeper than a lot of them. So my love for the school speaks for itself. So I kind of understand sometimes, when people say stuff and you know it's not true, but you can't really prove yourself against the university unless you try to sue them. And that's not what I was trying to do. I don't ever want to be where I'm not wanted. So I had already started putting insights in place, and this is what I did. But everybody else might not feel that way,
Mm.
And I'll be glad when it kind of resolves. And that's one of the things I used to love about sports was that you don't really get caught up in that. You just look to see if your team won. You hope that your team won. That if they lost, that they'll win the next game, and you celebrate with them and commiserate
That's right.
when they don't win.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
I'm a long
Definitely.
suffering Cleveland Brown fan. When I would wear my Browns paraphernalia up to a couple years ago, first thing you know, people say, "Oh, you must be from Cleveland, because can't nobody else be a fan unless you from Cleveland." My wife would be with me, and she'd say, "Man, I used to hear you say that, but we in the Black Museum in Washington D.C. and everywhere I went, somebody was like, 'Oh man, I hope y'all win because y'all been getting drilled.'" It's everywhere you go. I mean, so that's what I always liked about sports, is that sports allow that freedom
Mhm.
for you not to be involved with all the craziness. So the sooner we get through that craziness stage that we at, and we will get through it,
Oh yeah.
that we can get back to what our primary function of our institution is, which is to educate students.
Indeed. Indeed. And it's funny you say that, Coach, because I people ask me, well, why did you get into sports? And my first answer is usually, well, once I figured out I couldn't hit the 3-2 curveball, I wanted to. I decided to talk about people who couldn't hit the 3-2 curveball. But secondly, and most importantly, it should have been first, is that sports gives us a window to get away from the rest of the world. Because even though sports has become a microcosm of society, there's still, when the game is being played, it's all about the W and the L. And so I do feel you. And that's how I did not want to do regular news where every day someone was doing newsy stuff. And even though you get that in sports, RIP to Mr. Payne, Adrian Payne, um, you don't get it as much as looking at the regular news, and it depressing. At least if your team loses, you're right, you do have another game tomorrow or the next time. So I feel you. I'm 100 with you on that one. 100 000 000.
Zero,
Definitely.
zero, 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 zero.
Most definitely. And coach, and since you mentioned the alma mater, what about Isaiah? Isaiah opened it up, opened it, going to the transfer portal. Ah,
But he withdrew his name from the transfer portal.
he did. I didn't hear it.
Yeah,
Oh
he
wow.
withdrew his name from the transfer portal. Yeah, he took his name out, so
Thank
he
you.
should be with us again as we head towards this year.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, because
I
he's
will
a beast.
withhold any further comments on that transaction and
First
non.
of all, let me go off of something he said because I'm a little teary eyed right now because I listened to Joyce Myers this morning and she said growth is a process. You just got to keep showing up every day, and just to hear him say that, it just I'm full right now. But doing anything different,
Well, Jalen, if you could look back and tell your younger self anything growing up to get you to this point now, what would you tell your younger self and the young kids that are coming up behind you? What would you tell them?
I'll just say, stay patient, and that your time is gonna come. There were like many times when I was younger, especially like 8th grade and 9th grade. I seen a lot of other kids who I played with, who I knew like I could compete with or were better than. I seen them get offers and stuff, and I was like wondering like why I can't get any, or like why it's taking so long for me to get any. But like over time, like as I like grew up, like I had to realize that like patience was key because I knew like my time was come. Like everybody has their time. Some is like early, some is like later. So I just like you gotta stay patient, just keep working.
What is there anything you would do different to get Jalen to where he is now?
um, first of all, let me go off of something he said because I'm a little teary eyed right now because I listened to Joyce Myers this morning and she said growth is a process. You just got to keep showing up every day, and just to hear him say that, it just I'm full right now. But doing anything different, I don't know if there's anything that I would do differently. Um, I'm Team Jalen and I'm Team Jada. That's his little sister,
Okay.
and I don't think I would because I've always let him make decisions on his path, and I support him. So not much of anything. Maybe more training or something, but again, it's like he said, it's in God's time for him to accomplish what he has set out for his life. So we trust the process, and we've always trusted the process, and we'll continue to trust the process.
Okay. Okay. Well, like I said in the beginning, you did a great job. I I just remember the shy kid, excuse me, the shy young man, and when he won the Arthur Woodard Award for his academics,
Mm-hmm.
he was just so humble, and
Yes.
it's nice to see that he never was anywhere. I've seen him. He was never disrespectful to anybody. He was always appreciative and humble and grateful. You did a very good job,
Yes.
and I wish my son would.
Well, one thing about Jalen has been a Dr. Arthur Woodard Academic Award winner. We've had a show on him about being a high school pro, leaving after his junior year to go to OTE and be a pro. His he's done well. We have to get something a little bit later to find out what's going on with him now. His mom, she said, Team Jalen. I mean, she surely is that. And I know that anytime that we try to do something with Jalen or about Jalen, his mom has been right on point. In fact, we started covering Jalen because she reached out to us about doing something with Jalen when he first signed. And so, we look forward to that. And we were able to do that. She's very, very active with him. So we appreciate all that she's done with her son and promoting him and letting everybody know how he's doing.
Right.
We really have appreciated that.
Indeed. Indeed. It's something about mothers, man. I mean, wow. The 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 support that they give. People don't understand. OMG. Whoa. Are my eyes deceiving me? Wait, hold on. Wait. Are these, is that the EP? Is that
Executive producer. So you
hello?
can blame her when we have stuff that goes on.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. It's Comcast. It's Comcast. It's not me. It's Comcast.
Now she try to act like the audio is bad on her end.
It's me. Can you hear me?
Miss B.
Rick, listen to all that. Listen to all that noise. Listen to all that noise. Listen to all that noise. Listen to all that noise.
She doing it on purpose.
Hey,
She's doing it on purpose.
just see how it's been going for you guys. I remember when Uche was little, and stuff, and all the things that you did to make sure that he had a good life. Okay, but didn't you play a sport in high school?
Right. Yeah, I ran track.
Okay.
That's where I get my speed.
Oh, that's where you get your speed from?
Yeah. So yeah, I ran track before he was born because Jazz used to watch him. And then I did sports all throughout middle school. So
I think what might be easier is if we just run the segment on them by themselves, which we can do. So we'll just run the segment by itself, so that everybody
so he gets his speed from you, huh?
Get a chance to see what's going on.
Yeah, that's what he said.
He
get everything from me.
Because some of the moms really had a really nice piece about what was going on with their sons and what they did. Miss B, what did you gain from that?
Is she muted?
Now she got a microphone.
Miss B.
She got her own microphone, got it muted. Rick. Yeah, Rick. What can I say?
What?
Rick, what can I say? Rick.
Woo-wee.
What can I say, Rick?
I can hear the banter now. I can hear it. Oh my goodness. My goodness. You're not gonna let her live this one down, are you?
Oh no. And Kim say she got on before Ms. B got on. One of the things about having Ms. B do it, I needed the Mother's Day special. I wanted a woman to do it, to talk about the Mother's Day and to be able to interview the mothers. Those of you who are on, we have done and completed the Mother's Day component. We will actually put it up by itself. We'll put a link on so that you can watch it and see it in its entirety. One one of the things that we did that we were actually trying to do was we wanted Miss B to kind of tell her own story. She's commented a couple times about the fact, with her own son. And her oldest son was a heck of a basketball player. Heck of a basketball player. Took FAMU High to the Final Four. Player of the year. 6'3", 6'4", athletic, jump out the gym. And was a better football player.
Mm.
Went to the University of Florida, slipped coming out the blocks when they timed him and still ran a 4.4. Auburn and a lot of the Power 5 schools wanted him as a wide receiver. She spent Mother's Day with him this past Mother's Day, where he's been past 10, 12 years in prison and was a knucklehead and didn't do the things that people tried to get him to do. And it was really her story. I wanted her to tell it, but she probably knew that and conveniently messed up her mic and everything else so that she couldn't tell it. She sabotaged herself, but she didn't sabotage the show. But from it, some of the stories that we have for these mothers that are telling the story are success stories. Yeah. But there's no reason to believe or have faith that it's going to always be a success story. We had the guy, when we first started, we talk about him all the time, named Brandon.The. And we were doing a game with Cook County and Thomasville High. And the principal said, you need to do this game on our schedule. I said, why? He said, because Cook County's in it. I said, what's that mean? He said, you never heard of Brandon.The? I said, no, sir. He said, Doe can go. He said, you need to come take that game. So we put it up there. It's one of the top 5 games of all time that we put up there. As a junior, he led the state of Georgia in rushing with over 2,000 yards. University of Georgia saw him in the game, in the game that we taped and put up there, because at the time he was not being recruited by anybody. So as we go into his senior year, they're saying, did you hear about Brandon? And we said, no, what? They said, Brandon got kicked out of school. And I said, what you mean kicked out of school? Brandon, with a Cook County football shirt on, they say allegedly robbed a gas station, a 7-Eleven. When his teammate supposedly was behind the counter, he said, man, what you doing, Brandon? He said, man, give me your money. Give me the money. So he got a Cook County football shirt on. So he got arrested, put out of school. I understand his coach had him stay with him, still trying to get him straight. I reach out to a lot of the black colleges because I know now Georgia and those guys, they're not going to recruit him. So maybe we could get him and salvage it, give him a second chance. Then they said, did you hear the rest of the story? I said, no, I did not hear the rest of the story. They said, Google it. He's in there, Brandon.The. Google it. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution didn't know who he was, that he was an athlete, but they were doing a special news report. He had gotten killed in a holdup in Atlanta over Christmas, robbing a liquor store. The owner started shooting. Brandon started shooting. Innocent woman with 4 or 5 children, bystander got killed. Brandon got killed in the door, and the man got killed behind the counter. Done. Brandon.The. Almost every kid in South Georgia know the story of him because he was a legend. They thought this kid could play on Sunday. So what I'm saying is that a lot of times, it takes everybody in the village, and you can't assume what's going on, because a lot of times the most discipline some student athletes receive is when they're on the court or field of participation. The discipline that they get to play and the discipline from their coaches. Everybody doesn't have mothers like the ones we have on our special. They can sit down, talk to them, commiserate with them. Sometimes use that hand, because every mom I know, when those guys start to grow up, and she let it know that she mama. We'll have a special with dads, but dads let them know in a different kind of way. They take them to the ground. Oh, you a man now? Let me show you what a man is. They all kind of have that moment. But the moms do too, especially single moms. They because the guy started to grow up, he kind of think he grown. That's not the case. So for her, I thought that story kind of was something that could have some special significance. Ms. B, can you speak now, or you still got yourself muted?
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now,
Okay.
or I could hear you. I don't hear you now.
Okay. Well, yes. You're right. I did not want to do the stories. I like to stay behind the scenes. But I just learned a lot. We have some seasoned mothers and we have some new moms. Just to hear their perspective on how they're going to let their sons uh, how they're playing sport, learn kids.
I assume what she was trying to say was she learned a lot in terms of how the various moms get together and try to not get together, but how they approach raising their sons differently.
Mm-hmm.
And how a lot of them having their own athletic experience kind of let their sons know. I mean, we got April Manning, she was all world at FAMU. And it's always amazing to me to watch the look on her son's face when I tell her how good she could play. And he's like, I heard that, coach, but really, are you serious? And she said, I've been teaching you to handle the ball and how to play and how to be a point guard since you was 4. So how you gonna sit there and try and look all crazy at me? And so it's just a part of the process. And see, everything that we do, especially in our community, our moms are so critical to it because they play such an integral part. Mom and grandma,
Mm-hmm.
And we've tried, even on our show, you see that we try to give a special shout out to the dads who are involved and have been there, because everybody doesn't come from a single family home. It's beginning to change a lot. We're starting to see dads break the cycle and be a lot more involved and be there through the process,
Mm-hmm.
And do things that allow mom to be able to do what she does because of what dad does on the other end,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So, and I know it for yourself, Rick, how you been with yours, So they don't always understand. You've heard them on our show. You've heard the student athletes that played for me that understand a whole lot better once the time went on and they got older. They said, wow, this is the discipline that Coach Clayton instilled in me.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys that we interviewed, and I can't, when you hit the link on the bottom, because when this is over, we're going to put the link up and we're going to put the show on so that you could see that Mother's Day special. He said in his work environment, he can identify male and female, his co-workers that played on an athletic team because they have a much better feel of working together and the cohesion it takes to be effective in the work environment.
Mm-hmm.
Rick, the Career Center, we would have companies come in Florida A&M University and they would ask for student athletes because they've been in that team environment.
Mm-hmm.
They always knew it wasn't about themselves. And they also said if they had somebody that played sport on their resume and that they do not have their coach as one of their references, then that's a red flag to them.
Wow.
That if their coach can't speak for them regardless of when they played, if their coach isn't one of their references, then that's a red flag.
Wow. Wow.
And thought about it that way, had you?
No, not even because I wouldn't have put any of my coaches down just because they weren't into journalism, but I understand now the mentality and the thought process behind that, because if you don't get along with your coach, if you're uncoachable, then how are you going to work for me? How are you going to work to better our company? So I see I can see why they do that.
Right.
Hmm.
And it's the homework they do. I, they go on their social media accounts, identifying potential problems. There's some that go on interviews with the students, and then they ask for their password. If they don't give them their password, then they're no longer considered for employment.
Well, I don't know about that one, Coach.
I'm just telling you.
I don't get no. My what?
It's so much out there that these companies and corporations are afraid of in terms of the people that they bring into their program. So, and especially with us, you can't have any warts. You can't have any warts.
Yeah.
And you of all people know that. That's an issue for them. You can't have any warts. We always say what you got to be better, 10 times better than the competition. Is that not what we try and tell our sons and daughters?
For sure. And that's real.
That's real.
Yes,
all right,
indeed.
everybody, I got a Rick Brown special.
Hey.
You sabotage everybody's stuff, huh? You sabotage everybody's stuff, Rick.
Hey, that was her Mother's Day gift to us.
That was her Mother's Day gift. Rick, I like that. Rick, I like that. You said be bothering with me. You gonna do the stuff I tell them to do. I don't know what they think they doing.
Oh my goodness.
She said,
"Oh, when I come up to Tallahassee, I know I'm gonna get killed." I know Miss B gonna kill me.
Say you already know that, don't you?
I already know it, so I better get it out now. I better make it worth it.
Oh.
I better make it worth it. Oh my goodness.
Better get it in, Rick.
Yes, indeed. Hey, Miss B. How was the Oh, no. I'm sorry, not Miss B. Where's Sports Diva? That's what I want to know. Hey, Sports Diva, how'd you do? I'm gonna take them all on today. How'd you
So
do on those pools? Okay, no. All right, I'm just joking. Just joking. I love you. I love you. I love all y'all. I love you. I love you. I do want to say one thing though, Coach. Seriously, to the mothers out there, thank you. Thank you for putting up with your knuckleheads, us, because I know sometimes we can be trying, and but believe you me, without you, we wouldn't be where we are today, um, and we wouldn't still be striving to impress you. Because no matter how much we act up, if mom is disappointed in us, we know we done messed up. So thank you for all you've done. Thank you for your support through the years. Special shout out to Betty Jean Brown. Love you, mother. Can't wait to see you. I'll see you soon. And thank you to all the mothers.
I had special shout out to my mom who's not here. This is Esther Clayton. My two grandmothers who were very hands-on in raising me. My mother's mother, Annabelle, father's mother, Hattie Gillis. They're two completely different women, but both who spent a lot of time raising us, loving us, caring for us, looking after us, trying to correct us. My father's mother who was to see me graduate. They 4 doctors told her she had 6 months to live, and she buried all 4 of them. She lived another 15 years. That's why man doesn't make those decisions. God does. And for the motivation they did in raising 3 boys. And my mom, who at one point towards the end told me, she said this, thought I had underachieved. There was a lot more that I could do than what I had done, and that I had gotten complacent with where I was and what I was doing. Mom, are we doing better? As we move towards having a Roku network, as INSiiGHTS continues to grow, as we try to provide a platform to educate, enhance, and enrich the lives of others, is your son doing better? Now, what we do and pass on to our children so that it continues on with what we do, because they, whether they like it or not, they're an extension of us. But I heard you, Mom. I still hear you. I still hear you. And Dad, I hear you too. That you were always the calm when I would get that hot temper that my mother had. You would be the calm voice. Hey, Sonny boy, are you sure that's really what you want to do? Just take a step back and think about it. And that's all he would say. So I think we've been real blessed during this time, Rick, and I know you going through some things, remembering your dad, and you will continue to go through that. You won't forget him. He lives in you. And it's funny, you'll see expressions and things that's in your kids that, that's your dad. You'll be like, wow. You'll be like, wow. Really? Did you really just do that? Who? And your wife will say, yeah, that was your daddy there. That was their expression. Oh, this boy got a hard head. Well, Rick, you got a hard head. So it's got a genetics there. It's kind of genetics.
I've heard that one before.
Boy, yeah, let's be honest there. He said you heard that before.
Hey. Oh. They say the truth hurts. But the truth is the truth. That's the truth.
The truth is the truth. Oh, boy. Oh, Rick, you see, Sports Diva left you a message.
Oh. But it wouldn't be you without a little zing. Come on, Diva. Come on. I expected it from you. And the good doctor. Make my Tuesdays. Yes,
make your Tuesday.
Yes, indeed. Because I know I'm going to get it.
You know you're going to get it. Well, you got to break the day, but when you come back, I can hear just like Richard Pryor. Okay, but it'll be on next week. Okay.
It's on next week. You good this week.
Yeah, you good this week. But next week, it'll be on again. It'll be on you again next week.
Hey, Coach.
Rick.
I'm sorry. I can't. I think I'm getting sick, Coach.
Oh, boy, that's funny.
True.
See. Hey, we appreciate y'all, everybody. And we're going to continue to work on the things we need to work on. Shout out to my Merritt Island High School family. 50-year class reunion. I mean, I've known y'all longer than Ricky is old. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Merritt Island Mustang back with the black hair football coach. The second black hair coach that they had in Merritt Island, Matt Clayton, was the first in Brevard County as the first black head coach in Brevard County. Clayton coached the Merritt Island basketball team.
Wow. History.
I appreciate y'all. Love for you. I want you to continue to be understand that a lot of things that are happening to you is preparing you for what's and it's sharpening you. It's making you stronger, making you better, making you able to be appreciative of the positive things that come to you that he's going to give you, because he's going to give you. You just don't get it. Let us be a witness that even when the craziness comes, you survive it, because the truth outlasts a lie.
Yeah, it does.
Rick
Amen.
Brown, a lot of love for you and the family, my brother. You know, as you go north, and I know you're going, I have to send you some information because I know you're driving. When you go through Brunswick, there's a Gary's Meat Market, got some of the best brisket in the area. Oh my God, it's about 5 minutes off the interstate. And you're going to eat it before you get to where you're going. It's that good. I'm going to send you the address so you get there. If you got to make a trip, at least an enjoyable trip. Now, Jenkins, you know, Jenkins barbecue is special. You just take your butt in there. You don't know if they have any. You wait for, like I did, in line 20 minutes and then get up there and they say, well, we don't have any chicken. Well, why y'all didn't do that when you took the order? Y'all took my order around the corner. I decided to get up. It's going to take 30 minutes. I said, what? I had a detour and waited 20 minutes for my Jenkins chicken. It set me back an hour on my trip.
But
I'd do it again.
Yeah, send me that address. Definitely. Send me that address.
I got you. I got you.
Yes, indeed.
There go your
I appreciate
girl.
you, Coach. Ah, there's the doctor.
There she is. There she is. Ah, boy.
What's up, Doc?
Yeah, as long as she stay right there, she good. Just don't come on. Don't need to make no cameo.
Oh, see, there you go. Oh my God, really? I was
Dr.
late.
A cameo appearance, boy.
I'm late to the show. You don't want to just jump in like you've been there all the time. People know you ain't been there the whole time. So you just try to try to get in, try to listen to see what's going on. And then you get called out. I tell you, you rattlers. I don't know about y'all sometimes. Y'all rattlers.
She tag teaming you. Sports Diva.
That's right. That's right. And even though my voice isn't as deep as Ruffin's, that's right. That's right. I am grown. Okay, man. I'm out of here, man. Let's get out of here.
At the end of the day, you need to be out of here. You need to be out of here. No doubt about it. Oh boy, look, boy, Rick, they through with you.
They keep on. Okay.
Rick, they'll give you a break here.
Okay, as Neo used to say, or did say in the Matrix. Break.
Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.
Talk that talk.
Man, they still giving parting shots at you, man. This is Hunt Rick. Rick, they still ain't.
Hey, what did Bone Crusher say, Dr. Miller? I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared.
Oh, boy, that's become part of the show. Dr. Miller, Sports Diva, and Rick.
Love it.
Hey,
Love it.
we appreciate y'all, Rick. Our prayers
Mwah.
to you, brother. Anytime you need me, you call me. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
you know that.
Definitely.
If it's 3
Definitely.
o'clock in the morning, brother, you call me. I know what it's like. All
I
right, man.
appreciate it.
I
Thanks,
know you
Insights
do.
family.